Welcome to Win the Day from Back to the Bible. I'm your coach, Pastor Nat, and today we're going to find out why Jesus is not for everyone. Nebraska. It's not for everyone. Believe it or not, that became our state's slogan a number of years ago. How it went from Nebraska, the good life, to Nebraska, it's not for everyone, is beyond me. But I suppose it's true. Few people call Nebraska home. It just isn't for everyone. Well, Jesus is not for everyone either. It amazes me, it saddens me to believe this. With Nebraska, I get it, but Jesus? Well, let's see why Jesus is not for everyone in the book of John. Let's continue our series in John chapter 6, beginning in verse 41. So the Jews grumbled about him because he said, "I am the bread that came down from heaven." They said, "Is this not Jesus, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How does he now say, 'I have come down from heaven'?" Jesus answered them, "Do not grumble among yourselves. No one can come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I will raise him up on the last day." Jesus often spoke in metaphors, and it caused people to stumble, to question, and at times to doubt. So far in the past 6 chapters, Jesus has performed several miracles. He's turned water into wine. He's healed a sick child. He made a sick or a paralytic man well. He's walked on water. He's fed 5,000 men plus women and children. Not only has he performed incredible signs, he's also challenged people's religion. He's told the religious elites that works will not save. Religion actually leads people farther away from God. Jesus has offered living water to a sinful woman, and now he's offering the bread of heaven to the crowd. But the crowd isn't buying it. Here they are grumbling, just like they referenced Moses feeding the Israelites in the wilderness. Now they are like the Israelites who are complaining about God's provision. They wanted to go back to Egypt and become slaves again. They are outwardly and as a group complaining and questioning Jesus' words. They say, "Wait a second. I know you, Jesus. I know your parents. I know where your parents live. The address isn't 777 Heaven's Way. How can you claim to be God's son when you are Joseph's son?" Remember that Jesus came from God to reveal God to mankind. John chapter 1 verse 18 says, "No one has ever seen God, the only God who is at the Father's side. He has made him known." But you see, friend, they aren't listening. They aren't seeing. In James chapter 1, James says, "Listen to the word of truth. Be slow to speak. Don't grumble about what God said. Don't get angry about what God has revealed. Instead, listen." Jesus again reveals this incredible mystery of God's goodness and sovereignty. Look, those who get this message are the ones God chooses. They are the ones who will receive the bread of life and will experience that glorious future resurrection. Now, no doubt, these are some of the hardest teachings of Jesus. In fact, in John 6, verse 60, after Jesus continues this discussion, the disciples say, "This is a hard saying. Who can listen to it?" And he's right. But just because it's hard doesn't mean it isn't true. So here's my challenge for you today. Admit your struggle with Jesus, and then ask him for help to believe. Jesus will continue to challenge the culture, the world's value system, and our very natures. But what Jesus says is true. He came to reveal God to us. He came so we might hear, understand, receive, and believe truth. So now, let's put our struggles out there, and then let's receive Jesus fully. When we do that, friend, we will win the day.